Gather round, folks, gather round, as Welcome to Derry episode 7, the trailer has just dropped, and throughout this video, we're gonna be breaking it all down. That impression will make sense in a moment, but the new teaser is now here, and the first look takes us back to 1908. Packed with Easter eggs, big reveals, and lots of teasers, I was actually surprised at how much this trailer shows us with some pretty massive moments. Throughout this video, we'll be discussing what we see and the book alongside it. No more time wasting, play the trailer.
Gather round, little friends, gather round, and feast your eyes on the amazing Pennywise, the dancing clown! The dancing clown!
Give us what we want, and we go away. Hank Krogan. Show me the bow.
The dancing clown!
Okay, so the teaser begins with a blurred dick like your mum's softcore collection.
Dick.
What?
What?
We have the HBO logo and the classic red before going to Dick Halloran getting what appears to be a vision. That is, of the 1908 carnival. Here we have the ringleader who we met in episode 3, and it's here that we also encounter Bob Gray, aka Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Now, due to the woods behind Dick, I do wonder if he's entered the Forbidden Forest, or what's left of it. In episode 3, the carnival was out in the field, but it appears that he's just come across it in the middle of the woods here. Now, why would he be in the woods? Well, I'm guessing that this is after the fire at the black spot, which we see happening in the teaser. My guess is that that happens at the start of the episode, as that's where we left things last week. Dick then probably stumbles into the woods, and this is when he sees the vision of the circus. Now, the ringmaster appears to be inside Pennywise's cot. We've seen this at several points in the franchise, including the sewers, which I'll circle back to in a bit. Up over the top of him is the logo for the act though, and yeah, it's clearly his cot in full effect, finally getting to see it. Bob Gray then comes stumbling in wearing the same headpiece we saw in the photos in Mrs. Kersh's attic. Speaking of Kersh, I believe we see Periwinkle's hand popping out the window at the house that's part of the scene. The kids clearly love it though, and this gives so much weight to why Pennywise was wise to choose this form. Up until this point, he'd just come out and grab people, eating them, and they're going on the offensive basically. But people would say like a giant spider thing and be like, well, I'm not going near that, I'm off. However, it saw how mesmerized kids were with the Pennywise act that I quickly realized this was a smarter way to lure kids in, which is clearly a motif based off child killers and the fear of the man who will lure kids in with sweets and puppies and stuff, which I'm pretty sure every person growing up was told not to trust because of how that stuff has kind of worked on kids in the past. Getting a bit dark in the video, but Pennywise then starts dancing to lighten the mood. It's the exact same one that we saw it do in the sewers with Bev, and is such a cool Easter egg. Red balloons also drop behind him, and yeah, you get that one, mate. Give yourself a pat on the back for spotting that one. He then talks to a beaver who's popping out a grave. Don't know what's going on here, mate. Maybe like the beaver. Maybe the beaver's the ultimate evil, mate. Oh no, he's the dude running the show. It was Beaver all along. I do wonder if it's a tie to the Paul Bunyan legend though, or if it's just a magical creature that kids will love. Everyone knows kids love Chuck E. Cheese. Now, but in classic Derry style, it does look a little weird. In the same way, those Chuck E. Cheese mascots look pretty creepy in hindsight. Dick then appears to be in a tent, and the way it's edited makes it seem like he's remembering that night before.
I like Dick.
This included the gang masked up, with Chief Bowers asking them to hand over Hank. Bowers is wearing a vampire mask and acting as a tool for Pennywise. Pennywise is vampiric in how it feeds off the town, and Bowers being an instrument here is similar to how his grandson Henry will be used down the line. We also have a werewolf mask as well. There's one that appears to be like a Roman statue, but in black, but I'm not exactly sure what that's a reference to. The other two are clearly nods to the Universal movies though, which King said scared him as a kid. So he put these creatures into the book, and they're what terrorized the Losers Club. The patrons at the bar all pull their guns, and it's a really uneasy standoff. I'm guessing that things don't go well, as we then see the fire raging. It's possible that the victims of this are what Dick sees in the next shot, as we see a couple of people standing around him. In the mid-season trailer, we actually see a continuation of this shot, with them all crowding around and touching him. I feel like these characters all died the night before, and they're now haunting Dick. My guess is he stumbles through the woods away from them, and this is when he comes across the circus. Now we see Gray and Periwinkle in their cart getting ready for another performance. Gray has white paint all around his face, and it's similar to when it was putting it on like this in Mrs. Kersh's house in chapter 2. We can see his headpiece on the left and his costume in the top right. Periwinkle also practices her bow and then blows her trumpet. I do actually wonder if this is stuff that comes from her memory, and perhaps she thought about this when going to the bar. Kersh was getting all dressed up to go and see her dad and potentially witnessed it as her father, which is why he's so prominent in this teaser. Speaking of dressing up, mate, why not check out our merch store right below the video? There we've got lots of Welcome to Derry themed clothing, and we've got stuff like our Deadlight shirt, our Dancing Clown one, the Losers Club one, and that moose thing, mate. Our Black Friday sales are still on. I'm guessing that they are, because Sheridan is asleep right now, and he hasn't woken up and turned off the sale on the website. But they will be ending very shortly because of that. Probably when he wakes up and turns off the sale, but I won't do it, mate. So you have until then. The sale ends when Sheridan wakes up, so make sure you're quick. Anyway, we see the fire at the black spot in full effect. This is a pretty big change up from the book, as that was carried out by the Legion of White Decency. There wasn't anything about Hank at all in the book, and then they just turned up and burned it down because they were racist. So adding this element in of the vigilante thing kind of ties to the Bradley Gang massacre. I do wonder if we'll even see that shootout at some point in season 2 and realise the gang were just people coming into town to like tell people to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Intercut with this, we have Bob Gray performing for the kids, and then Dick carrying a kid out of the fire. This does seem to be Veronica, and I think it leads into this shot from the mid-season trailer. In that, Pennywise says, "Take my hand," and we then cut to the pair looking at him. This builds off Mrs. Kersh in the opening of episode 6, where she put out her hand to lead the kid into the basement. It also feels like the sort of deal that Pennywise gives the Losers Club at the end of chapter 1. There he offered to let them leave and live happy lives if they handed over Bill. The fire at the black spot is the end of this cycle though, and that normally closes out this sort of thing. So I do wonder if he's trying to claim one more body, or potentially the army's like, no, you're not going back to sleep. We need you to fight communism. Which, yeah, I'm kind of glad they've skipped over that for the last couple of episodes, because I don't know how well that plot's going to work. However, this obviously, isn't the finale, and though it looks like it grabs Ronnie's arm, we do know she survives this. The mid-season trailer shows her over Marge's shoulder, standing in the mist over the town. Though that could technically happen in episode 7, I think the black spot is what opens this episode, and therefore any event after that must happen after it, so in episode 7 or 8. As for the mist itself, I think the army are accidentally going to mess something up with the totem, and this will cause the fog to spread over the town. I'm guessing we'll end episode 7 like that, or at least set things up for that to happen. But yeah, I totally forgot the communism plot was a thing, because it hasn't been the focus for about 3 weeks. We'll see how it goes. Don't think it's going to go well. But yeah, it does look like Pennywise grabs someone's arm, and it seems to be a kid. Though Veronica is the go-to, I do wonder if it's potentially Will sacrificing himself to save Ronnie. Or hell, it may even be Hank to save his daughter. Hank isn't in any of the trailer shots after the black spot, and it makes sense that the fire kills him, and then this satiates the town's bloodlust. I don't know if he can escape and then go on the run again, because yeah, he hasn't really got any allies at this point. Maybe Charlotte, but yeah, I wouldn't trust Mrs. Kersh. We also know Ronnie eventually gets killed by Pennywise, as her voice comes from the pipes in it chapter 1. The fact that Dick is with Ronnie and not her dad as well also makes me believe that Hank doesn't make it out of here. I'm guessing the way it happens is they're locked in that back room at the black spot, the fire then encompasses it, no one can get out, Dick goes in, grabs Ronnie who's passed out because of the smoke, carries her out, and then yeah, Hank's dead, Pennywise is like, give me the kid, and yeah, that's it. But yeah, will that happen? We'll find out Sunday, but that's my thoughts on the teaser, and in the meantime, I'd love to hear yours. drop them below and let me know if there's anything in the teaser that we missed. And if you want to support the channel and get early access to videos, our It Chapter 1 breakdown is now on screen. It's 99 cents a month. It Chapter 2 is being worked on at the moment. Members will get that early as well, so thank you if you sign up to that. It really makes a difference and you get those early videos. If not though, thanks for watching this one. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one, mate. See you Sunday, where we'll talk about how wrong I was. That the way though, thank you for watching this. I've been your host Paul. You've been the best. I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.